This is April, and this is Brett. Hi, my name is Kristen, and on this channel, we talk about long distance relationships. And on today's episode, we are gonna call someone from the LDR community, and she is gonna tell us her journey from LDR to marriage to pregnancy. Come on, let's go give April a call.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi, it's Kristen Cares calling.
Hi, Christine. How
Hi,
are you?
April. Welcome to the show. This is Kristen Cares calling. And now we are going to go straight to our question. Tell us about yourself, which country you're from, what's your ethnicity or your race, your background, and some fun facts about you. Go ahead.
Hi, so everyone, I'm April Grosmick. Before I got married, I was April Chin. So I came from the Philippines, mainly from San Mateo Rizal, province of Rizal. So I'm a pure Filipino with like 25% Chinese ethnicity.
So, which country are you in now?
I'm currently in USA, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Wow. So you came from the Philippines and now you're in New Jersey. Tell us about how you and your partner met.
So my now husband, met through an online social dating app. So it's called Skout. It wasn't popular at that time because I know the ones popular right now is like Tinder
Yeah.
and other stuff. So yeah, Scout isn't popular at that time. It's more of global people that you see. So it's not the one that's local. So we met in Scout in August of 2013. So from there, yeah, we just talked every day, and our relationship began on that app.
Nice. So it started purely online, like dating apps.
Yep.
Tell us more about like the struggles with meeting someone like just on an app, like because you don't know them, you don't see them. Was that hard?
It was hard at first because you don't get to see them face to face. You just text them and just call them. But like as time passes by, you get to like know them more, and you try to see them through FaceTime
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you encounter people judging you because you're, let's say, you met someone online and then they're kind of saying, "Is that even real?" Like, have you ever encountered those kinds of things?
I did for some people, but for some, I encourage them to do so because meeting people online is not really that dangerous, but maybe for some there are dangerous people out there. But
Mhm.
meeting someone online is not that. It's fun.
So when you met your husband, what's his name, by the way? What's your husband's name?
So his name is Brett.
Can you tell us about Brett, like which country he's from? Some fun facts about him since he can't be here to tell us about himself. Go ahead.
So he can be here because right now he's working.
Yes.
So yeah, his name is Brett. He's 5'9", stands 5'9".
Wow.
Yeah, he's really tall. So yeah, he's from USA, New Jersey as well, born
Mhm.
and raised. He was living with
Wow.
his parents at
Well,
the
how was that? Like, knowing that he was living with his parents during the time that you guys met online, did it have any bearing or any effects with you guys, dating online or meeting online?
Actually, I don't, because his parents, my in-laws, are very supportive for him. So when he visited me twice in the Philippines, so every time he visits me, his mother and his sister like text me if he's okay there or not or
Oh,
something.
that's sweet. So, would you say that meeting in person is very important when you're in LDR? Like, is that a big factor to helping your relationship get stronger?
It is definitely, and it's, to be honest, it's one of the requirements for you to like get a visa because you have to meet each other in person. So, but in reality, yeah, because you get to know that person really well, and you get to
Hmm.
see him what he does and what he doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because I do know some couples who are in the LDR community. They're struggling a little bit because they've never met their partner and they have some issues with trust and some issues with, am I even going to be able to see this person because of the pandemic and the quarantine that's happening around us? So It's really nice that you now are with your partner before the pandemic happened. So
Right.
that's really, really good. How long have you been in an LDR with your husband now?
So we met in August of 2013, and then we decided to close the long distance relationship in September of 2016. So I arrived here in the US so about 3 years. Yeah.
3 years, wow, that's pretty long because usually long distance relationship, people who are in that situation, they do want to close the gap a little earlier. But being
Mm.
in it for 3 years, what were the struggles that you guys encountered while you were apart? Because 3 years is quite a long
So the struggles were mainly, I mean, the main one is time
time.
difference. 'Cause, you know,
Oh no.
I know he's 12 hours or 13 hours behind the Philippines. So
Mhm.
when it's morning and nighttime in the Philippines, it's really hard because you're sleeping and then he's working and you don't get to
Yeah.
like um talk to each other. The only time you get talk to each other is you have to adjust, like you have to wake up while he's awake or vice versa.
Right. So who usually adjusts depending on the time? Or is it just both of you 50-50, or is it always one person adjusting
Both of us adjust. Sometimes we don't sleep at all just to like talk to each other,
more?
and sometimes
Wow.
yeah, yeah, you have to adjust because sometimes we go on a date, like a virtual date, like a watch movie together. It's
Oh.
not common, but yeah, we get to be on a date sometimes virtually.
Yeah. What were your favorite online dates with your husband?
Well, we watch movies together. That's our favorite.
Yeah.
So we just
So
we
you
just
and Brett
watch
go three,
separately.
two, one, play.
Yeah, correct. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Can you pause? Something like
So you're watching a movie and then someone needs to pee and you're like,
yeah,
wait, stop.
yeah,
No, but I think those are great ways to have online or virtual dates. And some people even say that if you really want to be able to maintain your long distance relationship, you should always set aside time for virtual dates. Like what you said, having movies together and then pausing it together
right.
when you go to the bathroom.
And not only dates. So if there's like special occasions, you get to send gifts to him or you receive gifts from him. Yeah. So sometimes he sends flowers and cakes during my birthdays and during our anniversary. So that's a sweet gesture of him.
So nice. Do you also get to send gifts to him there, or
Yeah,
does he
but
also
like
send gifts?
once in a while because it's more expensive to send out to the US.
When you sent from Philippines to the US, what did you use?
So it depends on how or what your partner wants. Because my partner wants video games, he's more into that. So I order stuffs from Amazon and then just directly
Uh-huh.
send.
Wow. Yeah, like on Amazon they also have, I think, video cards that you can
Yep.
buy and then you can just
Correct.
send it. I think now they have a technology where you can send it via email and you don't even have to send the
Mm,
card physically. Like it can just
yep.
go directly to their email. So that's pretty
Yeah.
convenient. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next question that we have. When did you guys decide to get married and what were the signs that it was time? Like time. Because you know how in the LDR you're like, am I even gonna get married to this person? I don't know when it's gonna happen. Like, what were the signs so that the people that are watching, our audience here that are following this video, they would kind of have an idea if this partner that they're with is someone that they could potentially marry in the future. So what were the signs?
So there's not actually a sign. It's more of a decision that we made between the two of us. So at first, I didn't apply for a fiancé visa. I applied for a tourist visa going here in the US because I want to see him just as much he wants to see me because he visited me once before that before I applied.
Mm-hmm.
But I was failed on applying for a tourist visa. So they denied me because they told me you have to apply for fiancé visa because you're visiting your boyfriend at the time. So
Oh, okay. So for
um,
the people, let's say someone is they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend in the Philippines and they have someone in the US and they want to visit a boyfriend, even if it's just their boyfriend or their girlfriend, they could apply for the fiance visa.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
But
know that, but that's good to know and some
there
good
are
tips
lucky,
for the others.
but maybe there are lucky people who can, apply or approved by tourist visa. But for me, it wasn't. So it was a sad day for me at that time. So
Mm.
after I think 5 months, he was the one who visited me because I was so sad at that time I couldn't visit him. So he visited
Oh,
me, and then after that, I applied for fiancé visa. So I got approved, and then in September of 2016, I was able to come here and marry him. So, but I have to
oh.
marry him within 90 days. So that was.
Like, go now, Mary, get married now. It's
No.
like we can't even stop to think. We have to get married. We gotta go now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people who are in the LDR would need to both decide to get married rather than just waiting for signs. Like, would you think that that's a big factor to closing the distance and actually being together? Like, both people deciding, or would it just be kind of let's feel this, or is it really like we have to decide? Like, we have to have mature conversations about our future.
I guess it would be a mature conversation because if you're waiting for a sign, what I don't think it's gonna work on both of you because you're gonna wait for something that isn't, because you don't see each other. What sign are you waiting? So you both get to decide when are you gonna be together or where are you gonna be together. So it's more of the
Yeah.
decision rather than a sign for me.
Right. Okay, good. So those of you who are looking for signs, stop looking for signs and just be open to your partner, right? Like just talk to them and let them know
Mm-hmm.
how you feel straight away, like straight up. Just say, are we ever gonna have a future? Like, can we talk about so how did you open up that conversation with Brett? Like, was it hard to talk about your future or was it awkward?
It was kind of hard because actually, Brett or my husband isn't really like, a driver for like the future or something.
Mhm.
He's like a happy go lucky guy that, just work, home, that's it. But for me,
Yeah.
I have a straight path that I want to achieve, and that helped him a lot because we talk to each other, and then this is what I want, this is what we want for our like relationship. So yeah.
I don't know if this is correct for most of men, but I feel like I can, like talking to many people in the LDR community, I feel like I can see that women are more driven to look at the future, whereas the guys are more like, let's just look at what's going on now and just
Yeah.
like, figure out things now. But women like us, we're like, what's gonna go on in a year? Are we gonna close the gap? Are we gonna meet each other? So, was that ever like a problem? Did you guys ever fight about, um, talking about the future too much?
Not at all. I mean,
we, you're lucky. Some people like some
I
people
know
are
some
really
people.
lucky. Yeah, they get annoyed. They go, "Why are you talking about this too early? Or why are you talking about this?" But I'm lucky. You're lucky. I'm lucky. You're lucky that your husband is pretty open about talking about the future. We're gonna move on to the more like legal side or more like technical side of the move. So when you guys decided to get married, could you tell us or help the people or guide them about the things that they need to think about or to prepare for, especially when, like you said, applying for a visa, the hardships, the struggle, the pain, and how you can like give them ways to kind of make things easier for them.
Yeah. So I think, of course, when you're LDR, you don't get to see everything your partner does on a daily basis. You don't see them, 24/7. The struggles we went through after the transition, like from LDR to being married together, was more of household habits, I guess. So,
Mm-hmm.
making the bed, cleaning, etc. So, also figuring out finances. Because at that time I arrived here in the US, I didn't have work. I was unemployed for 8 months. So, working on finances was one of our main struggles. So for 8 months that I'm unemployed, I was just at home and I don't know how to drive. I don't have driver's license, so I don't get to go outside. The only time I get to go outside was if he's there, he's able to drive me outside. So yeah, but with the help of his parents and his dedication, he actually worked two jobs while I was unemployed. So he was working in a warehouse and then he was working as like an Uber driver. But here there's two kinds. There's Uber and then there's Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he worked two jobs while I was at home. I also tried online surveys while I was waiting for my work permit, but it's not big money that I earn. It's just small amount of money I can buy for
Just
small
enough.
stuff. Yeah, while waiting for my work permit. So yeah.
Let's do a quick rewind to the part when you got denied from the moment that you were actually able to fly. Can you tell us the processes that you went through? Like, tell us the mistakes maybe that you faced during the first time that you failed the interview, and then the success that you had on the time that you were actually able to leave and fly
Okay.
to meet Brett. Go ahead.
So I applied for tourist visa. I remember it was July of 2015, I think. So all the requirements for a tourist, I have it. So I went in the embassy to, have an interview. So the question of the officer for me was, who are you gonna visit? So I said my boyfriend. So at the time he heard that boyfriend. Yeah, he gave me. I think it was a blue paper at that time or yellow. I can't remember anymore. That means you're denied, and then they returned your passport. So yeah.
Oh, wow. So saying the word boyfriend actually affects your results in your
Yep.
interviews and being denied.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So that's a tip, guys. If if you get interviewed when you say the word boyfriend or girlfriend, I guess if you're gonna visit someone, try not to, right? So what were the difference to the one where you actually succeeded? What did you do then?
So after like a year, I applied for fiancé visa. Actually, not a year, like 5 months or something.
Hmm.
I applied for fiancé visa, but he was the one who applied it because he was the sponsor. So the sponsor will
Oh,
apply for fiancé visa for you, and then you just have to wait if they get approved. So when you get approved by the immigration here in the U.S., you get to your work on the paperworks here in the Philippines. In the Philippines, yeah.
right. Okay, so this time, so the first one that you applied for was a tourist visa, and then the next one
Yep,
that you applied for, fiance visa.
fiancé visa. Yep.
Right.
So
So that's the difference.
the fiancé visa has more requirements than the tourist visa because the fiancé visa you have to have pictures, text messages, proof that you're in a relationship with this guy.
Did you have any requirements you had to submit on your end, or was it just
Um,
Brett the whole time?
it's more of my partner, my Brett, because he has to like because he's the sponsor, so he has to prove that he can pay for my expenses when I arrive here in the US. So yeah, he had to submit his tax, um, what else? His payslip, etc. So on my part, it's just pictures of us being
Pictures
together.
of you guys talking,
Mm-hmm.
or pictures of
Yep, and our
meeting.
trips. Yep.
Right. Good. So for those who are transitioning now and are actually on their way to close the distance, you should get ready all your pictures. The person sponsoring should have their tax ready and their payslip ready, so that they can process their requirements pretty quick. And um, of course, if you get denied, it's very heartbreaking,
Right.
and 'cause you want to be with the person, right? Like you just want to be together, but
Mm.
then when you get denied, it's like so heartbreaking you can't even do it again after like right away, right? You have to wait. So
You have to wait.
during the
Yeah.
time you were waiting when you failed to the time that you succeeded, um the pain in between, like how was that for you?
It was really painful because you failed and then you cry after you went home. And one more thing, because when you go to the US embassy, you can't have any electronics like
Mhm.
phone or even headphones. You can't. So the only time I get to tell him that I failed is when I went home. So that was
Yeah.
heartbreaking as well. Yeah.
Would you say that your family were able to help you cope with the struggles, or did you have anyone to support you at all during the time you were experiencing it?
Um, yeah, just my mom, because my mom also like my mom and I is also LDR because my mom is in Germany, lives in
Oh,
Germany. So like physically, they're not on that time. They weren't there. So just advice through call is really helped me cope up with.
Wow, you've been dealing with this LDR with your
Yeah.
mom, with Brett. So we're gonna now move on to the happy parts because we've been talking about all the sad stuff. Now that you're there, and now that you are able to kind of manage the finances and kind of be able to cope the time being with each other, what were the best memories that you can recall when you guys moved in together, and how was that for you?
Best memories, I guess, would be traveling together more often than when we were LDR, because when you're LDR you just get to travel when you're together, but in here you can like go anywhere every day whenever you want or wherever you want. So yeah, and you get to eat together as well. You get to do the same thing that you can't do when you were LDR. So yeah.
Oh, that must have felt so, so good. Like
Yes,
holding his
yeah.
hand, hugging him,
I know.
seeing him there, not on the screen. So, tell us some tips or suggestions that you can give to the people who have just moved in together or just got married, coming from an LDR where you don't really see each other much until now, where you're like they're there every single day.
Mm. So my advice for couples who are LDR and planning to get married, my advice is like to trust your partner, be patient, and realize that sacrifices on this relationship are worth it. And you have to believe in your relationship really so that it lasts long. So the minutes, hours, or days you spend not together or LDR will all be worth it when you believe in your marriage or in your relationship.
Yeah, that I believe that's true because usually people would think that love is this like butterflies, but actually love, especially coming from long distance to now being together, it's hard work. It's a lot of
Correct.
commitment and
Mm-hmm.
it's sacrifice. Like you said, you got to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things in order to make your relationship work and to make your marriage work. And now
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that you can show us the fruit of your hard work. Your little baby bump. Can we see your baby?
Sure.
Oh,
Mhm.
look, baby. How long or how old is your baby in your belly
I'm currently 35 weeks, so 5 more weeks.
now? Oh my goodness! Are you excited to be a new mom?
Yes, I'm excited, and he's excited because it's a boy.
Oh, how was that like transitioning from LDR, now married, now with a baby? How is it like being pregnant and the hormones? So that people who are planning to, have a
Yep.
baby will know what to do.
So, again, this is part of our decision of our like future. First, we get married, and then we buy a house, and then we buy a car, and then now, as our relationship or our marriage grows, then we decided to have a baby. It was hard at first because you have to plan for finances before you get to have a baby, because having a baby here in the US is kind of expensive since we're both working, and I think it's time for us to have a baby, and we're growing old, or we're both growing old. So yeah, it's time.
So when's your due date? Like when are you supposed to?
January 2021.
Wow. So when this when this
I
show
know.
launches, the baby will also launch. We are excited to have the same birthday as your baby. I'm really excited to see your baby. Maybe in the future we can take a peek of the baby, but
Sure.
I know that there are some more hardships that goes through with having a baby, especially after birth. And we will pray with you and hope that you have a safe delivery and
Thank
that
you.
you and Brett will have an amazing time at just going through the motions of it all because I know it could get stressful and it could get really really intense and things
Yep.
happen so fast, so
I
fast.
know.
Like, oh my gosh, pregnant now, baby. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
So, can you give us some words of encouragement for the people who are having a hard time and for people who are struggling, for those who just got married and they don't know what to do, or for people who even probably are also pregnant coming from LDR? What are some words or things that you can tell them today?
First, you have to trust your partner and be patient. So when transitioning from LDR to being married couple, you have to again believe in your relationship, but also you have to know that the sacrifices that you had before going here or before transitioning to a married life will be worth it because at that time before I went here in the US, I was still working. I love my work. I didn't want to leave. Actually, I needed to leave because I need to marry him. We decided to get married, but I had a happy life in the Philippines. Got happier when I moved here in the US. So
Right. So what were the deciding factor that made you guys say, okay, we'll both be in the US? Because some people they do go to the Philippines and they choose to stay there or for the person from the US to move to the Philippines. But what were the basis like why did you guys decide that it's the best for your family to go to the US or why did you guys want to both stay there?
I guess there's more opportunities here in the US rather than in the Philippines. And I think it would be better that I go here or I'll be here than him going there because he's really actually not into like stuffs like our food. So he doesn't eat Filipino food. Actually, he doesn't eat veggies. So yeah, and Filipino food. So every time I'm here, I cook two meals, one American and one Asian. So it was really one of the struggles that we had transitioning. But yeah, we chose both of us agreed that yeah, okay, we're gonna be here. We're gonna live here in the US together.
Yeah, because Filipino cuisine has so much vegetables in it for some
Correct.
reason. It always has vegetables. It's gotta have vegetables. And for the US, like American food culture, they do have some vegetables, but not in every single
Yep.
cuisine. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really, really different with culture and with food. And I guess like you said, having those struggles, you have to be willing to sacrifice like what you're doing. You're cooking two meals and you have to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to do that if you want to make your relationship work.
Yep.
That is it for the interview today. Before we finish off, I would like to ask you to share to everyone some of your social media platforms so that they could follow you, or if they're interested in your journey, they could look at what you have and where you're from, where you are, and the things that they could click on and search up so that they can see you more.
Okay, so I only have my YouTube. That's it. I'm just starting and just posting random stuff. So it's April Grosmick on YouTube. So yeah, that's it.
Mhm. All right, so follow April Grosmick on YouTube. I will
I'll just
leave a link down below in the
yeah.
description so that you guys can click on it and follow her YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to her channel if you want to see more of her vlogs and the different kinds of videos that she's putting out. Maybe she's gonna put some baby videos there in the future, and maybe you get to see more of her and her husband Brett. So yeah, that is it for today's show in Kristen Cares Calling. Thank you so much, April, for joining us. We really appreciate you showing us your baby and telling us some tips about what
Thanks
we
for
can
having
do in
me.
our LDR. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as always, I will see you later.
Bye.
If you are in an LDR with someone from either the Philippines or the US, I hope that this episode was able to give you some insights and provide you some tips and ideas about your future plans in getting married after your long distance. If you find value in this show, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell for more long distance relationship topics. On our next episode, we are gonna call a couple who recently just got engaged while in their long distance. If that's something you're interested in watching, stick around and I will see you over on that next episode.
Hello? Hello? Tama ba? Okay, nantayin ko muna yung ring.
Always, sabay tayo.
Okay.
Sabay tayo.